The reason why I've talked to you in these live streams the way I do and in these Twitter spaces because I want you to remember these discussions. Because when you're in a live trade, and some of you probably have never been in a really profitable winning live trade with real money. When it happens, and if you're not sitting with a trade that has a limit order where you know where it's going to go, you got in, you don't know what it's going to do, you're just giving it a chance to start moving around, and it explodes in your favor out of blind luck. I say that facetiously, obviously, because if you're using what I'm teaching, it won't be blind luck. But it'll explode in your favor. And then you have this problem. It's running. Profits building constantly. And you're looking at it like a deer in headlights. You can't move. You're paralyzed, and you're watching the candle expand bigger and bigger and bigger, and the profits growing faster and faster and faster. And you don't want to touch the stop loss, but you don't want to close the trade, but you're thinking, I should close the trade because I'm making so much money. What happens if it reverses? And it still keeps climbing. It still keeps building up, and you're all hopped up. And it feels like panic. That's one of the hardest positions to be in as a trader that's new, because everything you do is going to be wrong. If you get out right now and it rips even more, you're wrong. If you don't get out and it retraces or reverses, you're wrong. If you stay in that position with no limit target placed and you don't trail your stop loss to lock in something, you're wrong. And that's what's happening at 100 miles an hour in your mind. All these things are zooming through, and you can't focus on any one thing. All of a sudden, you have attention deficit disorder. You didn't have it before, but you have it now, buddy. And it's a weird feeling when you encounter that. It's like, what the hell do I do? What do I do? And if your spouse is in the room and they start talking to you, shut up! Don't talk to me right now. Look, don't you understand how hard this is? I told you, I gotta be focusing. Now, minutes ago, you're reading the fucking comic books, eating potato chips, clipping your fucking toenails. But now, because you're in this position where everything's flying at light speed, you're not losing money, you're making money. You have no idea what to do with it. And here's your spouse just saying hello to you, and you're tearing their fucking face off. Because that's one more thing that's competing for your attention. Because you didn't do what you're supposed to do. Have your model outlined. Where's your profit targets? Where's your partials? And I know some of you have things that you would never talk to me about or even mention on social media, and you're hiding it. It's in your closet. These things that you know made mistakes in your life. And those are the very things that you're going to allow, if you're not careful, to derail you, mess you up, not be profitable, wreck your account, pursue stuff emotionally instead of following a model. That's an unfolding truth. That's something that happens. It ain't just well, it only happens to me or only happens to you. That's what happens to everybody. In those circumstances, that's always the outcome. But you feel like you're the exception. You're not going to be the person that happens to, when you're probably going to be the centerfold, the perfect example of that. By definition, if we looked it up, you would be in the case study that makes the perfect example of explaining this is what you should not do. That's how it typically ends up. But you don't feel like you're going to be the statistic. You feel like you're going to be exempt from it because it's you and you're different. And then when you go into the marketplace and you recklessly plow into it, hoping to get some kind of resolve or distraction by winning, knowing full well that win wasn't really a byproduct of your model. It's just because you impulsively gambled. No different from pushing a button on a slot machine at the casino or laying down some chips at the roulette table. That's a gamble. So you don't want to do those things. You want to see what I'm doing, teaching you how to see it, read it, be bored by it, and then like a business. When people are running a business, they're not hopping around, all excited because they're conducting business today. They're not doing that. They're very methodically doing the same thing that's boring to them. You do this, you do that, you stay organized, you do your books, you pay your taxes, and this is the end of the year, and you can carve out a salary. It's boring. That's how you want your trading. You want your trading just like that. It's not going to cause you sleepless nights. It's not going to be something that you have to stress over. It's a business. You know what you're looking for. You know how to anticipate these things repeating, and you know when you're going to engage and take on the risk. You're not allowing your personal life. You're not allowing the things that would make you feel insignificant or inferior, or you need a bump in your feel good dopamine. You're not going to try to get that through your trading. You're trading and pushing the button because there's something that your model says that this is a high probability, low risk opportunity, and you're going to engage it. And you're going to manage it until it's over. And when it's done, you close the charts and you turn it off and you walk away and you go to the next session or the next trading day. Repeat. That's discipline. That's running it like a business. And you're fortifying it and protecting it from any outside stimuli. No reason to try to replace a bad feeling away from trading. Trading is an island of itself. You don't let any of your personal stuff into that. You don't let other people in your relationships into your trading. You don't invite their analysis. You don't invite their opinion of what you've done. Your results are yours. Your spouse sees it at the end of the year. That's the best way of doing it. The best way. But isn't it hiding it from your spouse? No, you just tell them, I'm running a business. At the end of the year, I'm hopefully going to show you what I was able to do with this. If I show you every day or every week, your response to what I think is either good or not so bad, I may see this response that you give me, and it may affect me adversely. And then every trade I take will have that same impact of regret or remorse because I have shown you something that maybe didn't live up to your expectation, but you're not trading. You're just my partner. You're my spouse. You're my life partner. So you don't invite them into that. Be honest and say, I'm running this. This is what I'm doing, but you keep them out of it because two minds in this is toxic. You're never, ever, ever, you're never going to be able to be comfortable with that. When you do well, if you show your spouse and they don't feel the same, excitement of what you were able to accomplish, what are you going to feel? Wow, they didn't see it like I did. They don't appreciate me. You know how much effort it took for me to do this and how hard it was? They're never going to understand it, so don't tell them. At the end of the year, there's your results. There it is. At the end of next year, I'll show you my results again, and we'll pay taxes on it, and we get to live off the fat. There it is. That's the best way to do it. You're not hiding it. You're just saying, look, I don't want to have any mental baggage. I don't want you to influence me. I don't want you to make me feel like I got to do better. And I don't want you to feel like I didn't do good enough. And if you're honest with your partner, wife, husband, whatever it is that you're with, if you're honest with them like that, that's the best way to ring in what you're doing as a trader. You're honest with them. You're going to confide in them when it's time to pay the taxes. Say, here, I'm going to show you what I was able to do. You're not hiding it from them, but you're being honest because it's a very psychological impact when you let someone else that you love give them their opinion about or report card.